Today, we are going deep inside the auto parts industry. We're going to be hunting for those hidden financial red flags, the little signs that tell you if a company is actually in good shape or if it just, looks that way on paper. So let's get this investigation started. So let me ask you this. Can you spot a lie in a company's financial report? It's a tough question, right? I mean, these documents are designed to be complex. But what if I told you that with the right clues, you absolutely can? So I want you to grab your detective hat. For this explainer, you're the one in charge. And our case? Cracking the code on the auto parts industry's most cleverly hidden secrets. Okay, first things first. Before we can spot the clues, we have to understand the crime scene, so to speak. We need to get a handle on the industry itself. We're looking at what's called the auto ancillary sector. These are the companies that make pretty much everything that goes into a car, from engine parts to dashboards. You can think of them as the absolute backbone of the whole car manufacturing world. Now, on the surface, it all seems pretty straightforward, right? They make parts, they sell them. But underneath, there are these huge pressures and really complex dynamics that can, well, let's just say they can create a real temptation for some creative accounting. To find the truth, we have to look at the evidence. And for us, the number one piece of evidence is always going to be the company's income statement. A company's income statement really does tell a story. You've got your sales, which is just the money coming in. Then you have your costs, raw materials like steel, the costs to run the factory, and R&D for new ideas. And I want you to pay really close attention to this last one, warranty expenses. That's the cash they stash away for potential repairs. Keep that one in the back of your mind.
All right, detective, now that we know our way around the evidence, it's time to start the real hunt for clues. We're going to look at the common ways these numbers can get tweaked.
Our very first clue has to do with the biggest number on the page, revenue. And it's all about when a company decides to say, yep, that's a sale. Okay, so here's the game. A healthy, honest company only counts the money when the parts have actually been delivered and the customer signs off. But the red flag goes up when a company records a sale the second a long-term contract is signed. We're talking sometimes years before a single part is even made. It's a way to make today look fantastic by basically stealing from the future. Let's head over to the company warehouse for our second clue. This one is all about the real value of all those parts just sitting there on the shelves. Think about it, right? Car models are changing all the time. A smart company knows this, and they regularly reduce the value of parts for cars that aren't being made anymore. The red flag? When a company pretends those useless, obsolete parts are still worth full price. It's a sneaky way to make their assets look way bigger than they really are. Hey, remember those warranty expenses we talked about? Well, our third clue is all about playing games with that exact number. Oh, this is a classic trick. A good company looks at its history and sets aside a realistic chunk of money for future repairs. The red flag is when a company deliberately lowballs that number. It makes profits look fatter right now, but believe me, it is a ticking time bomb if a major recall happens down the line. Our last accounting clue takes us into the future of the company, how it handles the money it spends on research and development. So normally, R&D is an expense. It lowers your profit for the year. But there's this accounting move called capitalization, where you can turn that expense into an asset. The big red flag is when a company does this for a project that's a total long shot. They're basically pretending a risky bet is a sure thing, all to make their profits look better today. Now, moving beyond just the accounting tricks, there is a huge business risk that is a massive red flag all by itself. This is the final piece of our puzzle. I want you to imagine a company that sells, say, 90% of its parts to just one big car maker. What do you think happens if that car maker suddenly cancels the contract, or has a bad year, or decides to get their parts from someone else? That supplier's entire business is suddenly on the line. And this is exactly what that danger looks like. When one customer makes up 85% of your sales, they hold all the cards. They get to dictate the price, the terms, everything. And if they walk, it could be game over. So we've gathered all our evidence, we've identified the biggest clues. Now let's pack it all up into a simple toolkit you can use to close this case and any others you come across. Here it is, your 3-step plan. Step 1, know those key accounts we talked about: revenue, inventory, warranty, and R&D. Step 2, scrutinize them. Look for any of those 4 clues. And step 3, always check for customer concentration. Is the company putting all its eggs in one basket? So at the end of the day, financial statements aren't just a bunch of numbers. They are telling a story A story full of clues about success, about struggle, and maybe even about deception. The only real question left is this. Now that you know what to look for, are you ready to listen to what the numbers are really trying to tell you?